Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is episode 2 or video 2 of my CRF 300L Rally bike build. So half the fun of owning a motorcycle is really customizing it, building it out to be your own. So I'm just at the beginning of this process. Unfortunately, I've gone a little bit overboard on ordering a few parts, but that's half the fun. So what I'm focusing on first is really just the practical stuff. In the last video I did the GPS mount so I can navigate, and in this video I'm going to do a USB charger. So if you don't have anything better to do, grab a beer, grab a Diet Coke, come on for the ride. Okay, so what I have here is a USB charger from Motostuff. I ordered this from SRC Moto on the internet. Honda makes an official OEM one, but it's expensive. Not that this one was cheap. I think this one was 65, 68, something like that. So it's not cheap, but I wanted something that was plug and play. And as you can see, this one has the D060 connector already on it. So I went ahead and ordered this. This is a dual port or 2-port USB-A charger. I wanted to avoid the cigarette type charger so I don't have to carry around an extra piece. So in other words, a 12-volt converter that has USB ports on it. I'd rather just have them in here. And also, I'm never going to try to put a air compressor or anything like that through that circuit just because the draw is too much and it would pop the fuse. So if you recall from the last video, I made this little dongle here, and really it's just extends that one port that's on the left hand side of the fairing into two. So one of these is going to be the GPS, the other one will be for the USB charger. It's a pretty simple install. On the Rally, it's just really this one bolt, and it's a well nut. And I'll talk about well nuts here in a second, but it should be about 5-10 minute install tops, not hard at all, but I did want to show it to y'all. Okay, so the first thing I did was unthread this plastic collar. It's a threaded collar to loosen up the connector from the mounting point so I can get to this bolt. So I'm going to go over to the bike, show you where it mounts up, and then go ahead and throw this thing on. So if you're looking at the front of the 300L Rally, you'll see this little stubby part of the fairing sticking out here, and there's a rubber cap in there. So what we're just going to do is pull that rubber cap out. I may need to get a screwdriver. I'm trying to hold the camera while I'm doing this. Boop, and it's out. So it's going to mount, the bracket's going to mount right up in there. So it just kind of plugs right in there, just like that. And you'll need an 8mm socket or a wrench. I'll use the wrench. To go ahead and tighten this up a little bit. I want to kind of get it in the right spot, get it spun around the right way, and get it aligned so it makes more sense to be, and so it's more usable while I'm sitting on the bike. So let me go ahead and do that. I have to put the camera down for a second to do that. I'll get that squared away, and then I'll show you how I'm going to wire it up. So that's going to hold it tight to the mount. I went ahead and snugged up the bolt, the 8mm bolt, into the fairing, and you can see there it's fairly sturdy right now. So I'll go ahead and slide this rubber boot back into place, and there she goes. So now we have the end here that's already pre-wired, so all I got to do is run this to the outlet that's down here. Now keep in mind I've already got the GPS plugged in it, so I'm going to have to go over here and install my little contraption here and hope it works. I tested it before. It will work. Hopefully my solder joints are good, and we'll go from there. So let me go ahead, I'll put the dongle on, and then we'll get it plugged in and see if we can get it the wires run and tied up nice, and we'll test it. Okay, so here I've got the dongle installed. So now you see two plugs here. One will go to my GPS, which is right here, and then the other one will go to the USB charger. So let me go ahead and get those plugged in. I would show you how to do it, but I'm holding the camera. Need two hands on this one. Hang on one second. Okay, so they're wired in. So this is the USB charger here on this one with the braided cable. And this cable is my GPS that kind of runs back there to try to stretch some of the wire out and is dressed up here. So really what I'm going to do next, got the dongle installed. I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike on, see if we get power to the USB port, see if it charges. And then what I'll do from there is dress up the wires, and voila, we are done. Pretty easy, so let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so let's go ahead and power this thing on. All right, GPS lights up, that's good. Let's check the USB port. Ooh, indicator light. All right, so I like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and check my phone, make sure that works. Yep, phone's working too. See, phone's working as well. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So let me check the other port, make sure both ports work before I call this a success. Okay, got that. And voila, power to both. Okay, great. So that's it. One of the really nice things I like about the Rally here is that it's designed for this USB charger. You gotta have a USB charger in my mind on any kind of bike that you're doing adventure riding on, or even dual sport riding, in my opinion. Love having the ability to charge some stuff while we're out. So let me go ahead and tie these wires up, get them nice and cleaned up, put away, and then we'll wrap up this video. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention when I was putting this in, I tightened up the bolt. This is a well nut, so you don't want to crank on that too much. It'll kind of ruin the nut strip. You can have a real easy chance of stripping that thing out. There, brass inside. And whatever you do, don't ever put blue Loctite or Loctite of any kind in a well nut. Ask me how I know. It'll end badly for sure. Had a bad experience with that on the KLR. I did a stupid thing and ruined one of the well nuts in my windshield and had to get a replacement. So no Loctite, and don't gorilla it down tight. Just snug it up nice and snug and you should be good to go. Okay, so USB charger's in, the wires are dressed. The bike is looking pretty good. I have a functional USB charger, a functional GPS, and of course the tail tidy, but that was another story. So from here on out, I've got a lot of parts. I've got a big box of them over there. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna make this kind of a series since I don't have much going on in the way of riding recently because of the weather. It's February, it's cold, so I might as well take advantage of this time, get the bike ready for spring. And I tell you, I just have a good time working on it. You know, I enjoy customizing my motorcycles and making them my own. I'm sure you do as well. So if you like this video, click the little ding bell to get reminders. If you liked it enough to consider subscribing, please do that. And I will catch you on the next one.
That's all I have to say about that.